If you're looking for the 11 most consistent survivor perks in Dead by Daylight, then look no further than this video. Today we're going to be talking about the top 11 best, most consistent perks in Dead by Daylight. And now what do I mean by consistency? When I say a consistent perk, I mean a perk that has a good amount of uptime in a game where you for sure get value out of that perk in a match, and you for sure get a lot of chances to use that perk. And now here's the thing, guys. Consistent perks aren't always the quote-unquote most strongest or meta perks. There's a lot of perks on this list that will surprise you. There's a lot of perks that won't be on this list that you'll be shocked to see not on this list. But that's because of the issue of consistency. And the thing with Dead by Daylight is that there's perks in all ranges and categories. But as of the last month or two, my whole play style and my focus as far as what a good perk is completely shifted in regards to basically how consistent that perk is and how good that consistent value that perk provides, therefore giving me more consistent matches and more seamless gameplay. It's not like I'm super competitive or anything, but I do like my gameplay to be consistent, and I hate doing things like bringing something like Deliverance, for example, and going 3 games and always being the first one to get hooked and never getting to use my Deliverance. Same thing with like Unbreakable, Decisive Strike, Adrenaline if you don't get it to the end game. Like, these are really powerful perks and really strong perks, but they're not consistent. It's no guarantee those will go off each game. When they do go off, there's some epic, incredible moments, but the point of this video is that we're gonna really niche down and focus on the perks that provide really consistent value and help you in your matches. So without further ado, guys, let us start at number 11, and that's gonna be none other than Resilience. Resilience is a great perk. It's almost like a jack of all trades, master of none. It makes you 9% better at everything when you're injured. And considering you will be injured a ton of times, especially if you're playing against something like a Legion or a Plague, Resilience comes in clutch. When you're injured, you will do everything 9% quicker. Vaulting, repairing, sabotaging, healing, unhooking. This helps you shave seconds off of basically every action in the game, including vaulting. So this helps you in chase. This helps you heal quicker, this helps you repair gens quicker, unhook, cleanse. Resilience is a very strong perk, and the only reason it's not higher on this list is because you have to be injured to get value out of it. It is possible that you'll never be injured in a game, although that would be highly unlikely, especially if you get tunneled or chased and hooked and then unhooked. You will at least have resilience when you get unhooked until you get healed. So for that reason, Resilience is the number 11 spot here. You get a lot of uptime with Resilience, and you get a lot of actions to do with Resilience because it basically just helps with everything, and that's always a good thing to have. Not the most incredible, but a good thing to have. Perk number 10. We have Empathy, guys. Empathy is a severely slept on perk that's actually really, really good. So kind of tying in with the whole injured thing. Empathy activates when a teammate is injured, and then their aura will be revealed to you within a 128 meter range. That is basically the entire map, guys. I don't think there's a map that's greater than 128 meters. The thing with Empathy is that it's great. It's almost like just a different version of Kindred and Bond, because this works really good if you are an altruistic player. You can see where the injured teammate's at, and instantly when a teammate becomes injured, you know that's where the killer's at. That's vital intel for you to know, because then you know you're safe. You can watch your teammate who's running away and chase. You know where the chase is happening. If you want to go try and get a flashlight save, if you want to go find them to body block for them, if you want to go find your injured teammates to heal them because you brought Botany or will make it. Empathy's applications are actually pretty crazy, and I'm really surprised not more people use Empathy. It's really a good perk, guys. It doesn't see a lot of love for some reason, but it's an insanely amazing perk that gives you a lot of value. Like, there's so much value in seeing where your injured teammates are at. Not going to say much more about that. Empathy is a great perk. Let's move on to the next perk on this list, and it's actually another severely slept on perk. We have Alert, guys. Alert activates for 5 seconds whenever the killer performs a break action. What's a break action? If the killer breaks a breakable wall, if the killer breaks a pallet, if the killer kicks a gen, you will get a noise notification, and you will be able to see the killer's aura for free for 5 seconds. Assuming the killer doesn't have any aura blocking thing going on, or it's not like a stealth killer who has their aura blocked, you will see the killer's aura for 5 seconds. Why is this good? Kind of what we were talking about earlier. You see where the killer's at. You always know what the killer's up to. This provides you so much value, especially like if you're in chase, you drop a pallet, killer breaks it, you have alert for 5 seconds so you can see where the killer's going, so you could potentially mind game the killer out of a loop. Alert, great perk, activates way more than you would expect it to. Trust me, when you start using this perk, you're gonna just be like, whoa, why haven't I been using alert? And you know what? I can't answer that question for you. All I can tell you is you should use it. Next perk on the list, guys, coming in is Built to Last. Built to Last, guys, an amazingly consistent perk. All you have to do to activate this perk is deplete the charges on whatever item you bring with you and go inside a locker. After 12 seconds, you will completely refill that item 99% of the way, and you could do this 2 additional times. Each time you get 33% less charges back. So Built to Last opens up so many doorways. So again, the reason why this isn't higher on the list is because Built to Last does require an item to be used to get the most value out of this. But the potential and the amount of builds you can build around Built to Last is honestly insane. You could make a medkit build with like empathy, a medkit, renewal, Built to Last, and you can just run around and spam heals on your teammates. Use like the fancy medkit, even stack it with botany if you want, and just refill your medkits and just be healing your teammates, healing yourself, being just the field medic you always wanted to be. You could make a gen rush build with Built to Last. You can use Built to Last with a streetwise commodious toolbox, some sick add-ons. Basically sit on a gen and work on a gen forever, refill that toolbox, be able to do another gen, be able to sabo all game. Basically gives you an infinite toolbox for a match. You can even use Built to Last with the keys. You can put aura reading attachments on the keys, see where the killer's at, see where your teammates are at, keep channeling that keys, run something cheeky like what the Bill perk, Left Behind, so you can see the hatch in the end game. And because you brought a key, if you're in an end game scenario, you can just find the hatch and open it up with the key you brought. But you could also just keep refilling the charges, so you can basically get permanent aura reading of the killer. You can also use Built to Last with the map, which honestly is probably the least powerful and most pointless one out of all the items to use Built to Last with. If you're using Built to Last with the map, I don't know what's wrong with you. Don't do that. Flashlights also work great. Don't need to speak much about that. Everyone knows you can flashlight save. Get your charges back with Built to Last. Guys, if you haven't used Built to Last with any items, I don't even know what game you're playing, because you're not playing Dead by Daylight. Next up on the list, coming in at spot number 7 is actually going to be a tie. So you get a bonus here. We got Sprint Burst, we got Lithe, and I'm even putting background player here. So I've got these exhaustion perks both in the same slot because they're all exhaustion perks, but they are fairly consistent in what they do depending on what you want to do. If you want a standard chase perk and you're good at 99 in your sprint burst, use sprint burst. Lets you run really fast for 3 seconds. What's not to like about it? Helps you get out of chase, helps you extend the chase a little bit longer. You can do some clutch plays with the sprint burst if you save it for the right moment. Not a bad perk to run. Lithe, basically the same as sprint burst, except you have to vault something to get it to activate. Some people like sprint burst, some people like Lithe. As far as exhaustion perks go, those are probably the 2 ones you're gonna want to use as far as helping you in chase. But if you're being altruistic and you are trying to get flashbang saves or flashlight saves or do some kind of like sabo plays on hooks, then background player is what you want to use. And this activates whenever the killer picks up a survivor. You'll have 10 seconds to activate the perk, and you'll run at 150% move speed for 5 seconds. And instead of 40 seconds of exhaustion, it only makes you exhausted for 20 seconds. So you could potentially even use background player with another exhaustion perk if you really wanted to, since they buffed it in that regards. But all 3 of these guys are going to be in the number 7 spot. Very consistent exhaustion perks. Balance landing isn't on here because there's some maps where you actually just can't use balance landing, which kind of feels bad. But honorable mention to balance landing. Honorable mention to Dead Hard, but Dead Hard sometimes is tricky to hit depending on pings and all that weird stuff that's been going on lately. Number 6 is going to be personal favorite. We'll make it. We'll make it, guys. Amazing, amazing perk. Has a condition though. You have to unhook a survivor. And then you will get a 100% bonus to your healing for 90 seconds. 90 seconds is a long time. To put this into perspective, this will turn your 16-second heal into an 8-second heal, which means you can unhook them, heal them at the hook before their built-in borrow time even expires, and get them back to whole health really quickly. Why I love Will Make It is because it really helps you reset your teammates very quickly, because instead of spending 16 seconds on a heal, it's only 8. That literally halves the time in half. And then it also lasts for 90 seconds. So if you bring something like Empathy with you, odds are you'll get to use Will Make It 2, 3, maybe even 4 times possibly to go find your injured teammates and heal them really quickly. And why this is a great thing is because you save so much valuable time, like 8 seconds, add up 8 seconds, 8 seconds, 8 seconds. That's just way more time for you guys to actually play the game, focus on objective, and do other things. You don't want to be wasting 16 seconds healing your teammates every single time. Honestly, it takes too long in my opinion. Will Make It will help you reset your teammates really quickly so you guys can get back to focusing on the mission and escaping the trial. Amazing, amazing perk. Cannot toot the horn of Will Make It enough. The next perk on the list is going to be Botany. Now, why is Botany ranking higher than Will Make It? This one only boosts our healing speed by 50% and also reduces our healing item efficiency by 20%. The only reason I'm ranking it higher than Will Make It is because it is more consistent in the regards that you don't have to unhook someone to get the perk to activate. You will always have the bonus to healing speed, and also you have the bonus to healing speed on you. So one thing that I really like to use with Botany is not only does it shave you some time off healing your teammates, not as much as Will Make It, but it's still 50% is still good enough. It also works really well if you bring like a shitty camping aid kit, bring yourself like a bandage, bring yourself a syringe. And why the setup is so good, and I highly recommend it, is because when you're running Botany, it takes off 20% of your charges, so you can't fully heal yourself with one med kit. So you need to add on the bandages, which will make it to where you can heal yourself pretty quickly actually with the 50% healing boost. So you get one pretty quick self heal, or you can heal someone else really quickly with the med kit if you use it on them. So one really quick self heal, one really quick heal on your teammates. You'll have a little charges left over, so just enough to burn the med kit for the anti-hemorrhagic syringe, which will heal you in 16 seconds after you use it. But if you use it on an ally, it actually stacks with Botany and will heal them way quicker. It doesn't take 16 seconds. It actually, you get the 50% healing speed factored in on that. I'm not sure, I can't do math on the spot right now, but I think it ends up being something like 10 or 12 seconds instead of 16 seconds when you use it on a teammate. So very good. Always nice to have 2 heals in your pocket, and Botany's on all the time, so you never have to do anything to get it to activate. And honestly, I really love Botany. It's a really good perk. Not enough people use it. Number 4. Number 4 on the list is going to be Kindred, guys. And I already know some of you guys are going to be triggered when you see what number 3 is. But Kindred is an amazing perk. What does it do? Whenever you are on the hook, all survivors will be revealed to all other survivors, and they will all be able to see the killer's aura within 16 meters of the hook. This is just a great perk. Seeing the teammates' auras, seeing where the killer's going, lets your teammates know who needs to go for the rescue, who needs to avoid the killer, where the killer's going, when it's safe to go to the hook to unhook you, is the killer camping you. Intel is everything. But also, this perk activates just for you when any other survivor's on the hook. You'll still get the effects of Kindred, so you can see your teammates' auras, the aura of the killer, and then you can basically see if you need to go get the rescue. Are you safe to go use your Will Make It? Do you want to go find a teammate to heal you, or whatever? This helps you just see where everybody's at in one of the most crucial stages of the game, which is when a survivor's on the hook. Now, perk number 3 is actually going to be Bond. Now, Bond reveals the aura of your allies within 36 meters of you. Why is this ranking higher than Kindred? Well, one, kind of with the whole Botany Will Make It thing, Bond's uptime is 100% of the time, so you will always see the auras of your teammates. Why is this a good thing, and why do I find it better than Kindred? Well, here's a couple things. One, there's a lot of applications for Bond. Like, one example is like when you're in chase and you're looping the killer. How many times does someone, or you even, take the killer to your teammates working on a gen by complete accident because you didn't know your teammates were there? A sandbagging occurrence. Or if one of your teammates is in chase and they're injured, 2 things will happen. One, you will see the injured teammate in chase, and you'll see if they're running straight towards you, so you know you need to get out of the way and not sandbag them, or not just be in front of the killer when they come. And also 2, if you hear like the killer's terror radius, but there's another ally and you see their aura and it looks like they're running frantically, dropping pallets, you know the killer's going for them and the killer's not actually going for you. Also, you can always go find a teammate to heal you. You can go find your injured teammates. If you need to find someone to body block for them, you can find them that way with Bond. Bond, it just takes the guesswork out of it because you can always find your teammates. You always see where they're at. You can tell who's doing gens, who's standing around. It's like the applications of just information and intel in this game just influences the way you play and the smoothness of games so much that the games just flow way better. And the next time you go back to using like non-aura reading perks that don't give you intel, you're gonna just be like WTF, like what the heck is even going on? What is this game? Like once you go Bond, you cannot go back, which kind of segues into perk number 2, which is Windows of Opportunity. Now, Windows of Opportunity, amazing perk, same thing, 100% uptime. Lets you see the aura of pallets, breakable walls, vault locations within 32 meters of you. Why this is good, especially combined with Bond, is that it turns a shitty looper into a decent looper into a good looper into a great looper, and a great looper into an absolute freaking god. It doesn't matter what level of skill you have in this game. If you have access to Windows, you know exactly where to go. You know what loops to chain. Even if you are shitty at looping and you're just running from pallet to pallet, this will help you stall so much time to give your teammates time to do the generators. But also, this will just keep you alive that much longer because you'll avoid running into dead zones. You'll see where your vaults are. If you brought something like Lithe and you just don't know where to go vault, you can go find a pallet, find something to vault. Windows is just really good. It stays up 100% of the time. This helps you extend the chase for a really long time, which at the core of DBD, half of the matches is basically chase. How long can you stall the chase out, waste the killer's time so your teammates can do generators? This perk lets you extend that time by a milestone. And now, the best perk on this list, to me, is going to be Deja Vu. And if you wanted a sick build, you could probably use the top 3 perks on this list: Deja Vu, Windows, Bond, and whatever else you wanted, and have a really, really good build. Why Deja Vu is number 1 for me? 1, this one, while Windows is focused on the chase and extending your chase as long as possible, Deja Vu is focused on the core focus of the game, which is to do the generators and get out, and this keeps you focused on target. This will reveal the 3 generators that are closest together to you permanently throughout the whole game. And every time you work on those generators, you get a 6% repair speed bonus. So you're basically incentivized to do the Deja Vu gens. Now, why is it important to do the 3 gens that are closest to each other first? That a lot of people don't understand is that if you leave those 3 gens that are spawned close together for the last gens in the game, which happens on accident so many times if people don't bring Deja Vu and people aren't aware and people are just playing and doing whatever gens they find, they will 3 gen themselves. And if a 3 gens are close together, the killer has such an easy time. Even if it's a bad killer, they have such an easy time defending 3 gens that are right next to each other that you will lose games you should have otherwise won. It is such a frustrating scenario to be in. And this basically prevents that. If you always do the 3 gens that are closest together and prioritize those, then you'll have an end game scenario where the last 3 gens on the map are actually pretty evenly spread out. So it's harder for the killer to defend all of the gens, which gives you more of a chance to get the last gen done and get out, which is vital to actually escaping trials and matches. Deja Vu, Deja Vu, Deja Vu. If you're not using it, you need to be using it. Such a great perk. It stays active for the entire game. I cannot tell you how many times there have been matches where I'm like in the end game and there's 2 generators that are kind of close to each other and we're like basically like 70% progress done on both of them, but the killer's just religiously protecting those 2 generators. And if I didn't have Deja Vu, I would have had no idea where the 3rd and last generator would be on the map. But because I have Deja Vu and I can see that the 3rd generator is way far on the other corner of the map, sometimes I will just ditch those generators that are almost done because the killer's super defensive on them. And I'll run across the map and I will do the generator that's super far away that the killer doesn't even think we're doing. And I'll get that gen done before my teammates could even finish the 2 gens that were almost done, and we'll be able to get out. Like, Deja Vu is just a great perk. And no wonder why it's number 1 on the list, because it's the only perk that incentivizes you to do the core aspect of the gameplay, which is basically do gens. Windows incentivizes you to loot better. Bond incentivizes you to play better. So use these perks, guys. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button for the algorithm. Comment down below and let me know which perk is your favorite. And if you have any other perks you thought I missed, let me know, guys. Comment down below, subscribe, be part of the family. I do a shit ton of DBD videos like this, and I will see you guys all on the next one.